Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going to be working out here in the front and we are going to be decking out our front porch, our entryway for Christmas. I am so excited. I have been waiting to do this ever since we got back from our trip and I just cannot wait. In our last video, we actually went out and we got these Christmas trees together, which that video, just going out there to the national park, only paying $5 for these trees, was amazing. I had the best time. That was probably one of my favorite videos I've done so far. I loved editing it. I love rewatching it. And I think it was just such a fun video. So if you didn't watch that, I encourage you to go back and watch it because there's some really funny parts in that video. But anyways, so let me show you what we have going on today. I am just really excited to get this done, like I said, because we're getting closer and closer to Christmas, but I'm one of those people that thinks it's never too late to get things decorated. So if you haven't done it yet, I would highly recommend or encourage you to do so because you don't want Santa to overlook your house. So why not? So you just saw we got all of the pumpkins cleared out and this is kind of what things are looking like right now. We went up to Mount Hood and we cut down a couple of trees. These are them right here. And Sergey is working on cutting the bottoms off so they're the perfect height to go into the containers that we're going to be sticking them in today. And like when you get a fresh tree, you always want to cut the bottoms off, maybe like 3 inches. That way there's a fresh cut before you put it in water. It's the same theory here. We're just going to stick it into soil that we have moistened. Let me show you. So I just did a deep water into these containers so the soil is nice and wet. That way when we put these in there, they're going to stay hydrated all winter long. So we got those two, and then on our way out we saw that somebody cut this big tree and just left it there, and we were like, well, that's not very nice. So we took it. We just bought another permit and we took this one because we can cut some of these branches off and use this as decoration. And I actually thought about just plopping this out in the middle of the lawn somewhere because it's such a pretty tree, but I figured if we need some of these evergreens or these greens for decorations, we would use this tree for that purpose. And it does have like some bald areas here in the back, so it's not like a completely full tree. Maybe that's why they didn't want it, I'm not sure. But either way, their loss is our win. So I'm happy that we were able to get this. And so the plan is to stick these trees in the containers. We also have some smaller ones that we brought, and then I also have some garland to hang around the door, and then I will show you how I plan on decorating these little trees, which I'm so excited about. The idea is to keep things very natural looking, which is a little bit odd for me because although I love that natural look, I also love Christmas and I love decorations. I love ornaments. To me, the more lights, the more ornaments, the better it is. But a lot of our Christmas decoration is in storage because of the construction. So I want to be mindful of that and not go out and spend a ton of money on things I already have. I just don't have access to it yet. So I'm trying to be creative of how we do this to make a big impact kind of on a friendly budget and not go too overboard with the decorations for the entryway. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and set up my camera and then we will get started and just see how things come along, and then we'll also see how everything looks at nighttime. So what we've done so far is we cut about 6 inches off of the bottom and Sergey kind of made it into a point. That way it'll be easier to go into the soil. Now again, remember when you buy fresh trees, you always have to make a new cut, even if this is gonna be for inside the house. That way that fresh cut will allow the tree to drink water more easily. And in our case, this is going to be in soil. We've already, again, wet the soil, so it's going to drink water from there. We've also limbed up some of the lower branches. That way there's enough of the main trunk to go into the soil so it's not like wobbling around. If there's a lot of movement, we can just fix that by putting rocks around it and that will keep it nice and secure. So now looking at it, this is the baldest spot over here. So I'm going to put this towards the house. I'm just gonna put it in.
Did you get the biotone?
No, you will not need biotone for this process.
Let's see how it looks in a week.
Yeah. So you see how it's just going down? So we're just gonna push it as far down as we can.
Okay.
right, now that we have these in, we went ahead and just packed them in really tightly, and we put a couple of bricks around them. That way, if there is a gust of wind that comes through, it's not going to, these won't fall over. And now we're gonna start in with the lights. And these are the lights that we're going to be using. I'll see if I can find a link for these and link them down below in the description box. But these are by far my favorite lights ever. Now these are indoor and outdoor, and they are a little bit spendy. They are an investment, but they twinkle so much. They're so pretty, and they just, for as small as they are, they put off so much light. So these little clusters are my favorite. All right, I'm gonna hang up the garland. So let me show you what I like to do first, because when they make garland, they make it all in one direction. And I usually like to make my own, but I had no time this year. So I bought this one at Home Depot. I also saw them at Costco, Lowe's. So a lot of like big box store has them, and a lot of garden centers have them. So this is just a plain cedar garland. And we do have some other greens that we're going to use to zhuzh it up. But I'm gonna show you how we hang it on the door first. And then actually I'm going to show you how we cut it before we hang it on the door. So let me show you that first. So to start with, we have 3 nails at the top. Now this is a temporary frame for our door. When we redo the siding, all of this is going to be changed out. So I don't mind using the nails on this frame. If this was my permanent door frame, I would do it at the top of it, if that makes sense. So instead of doing it like on the actual frame, I would do like on the side, so on the top. That way you wouldn't see those holes like you are going to when we remove these. So with the garland, like I said, they make it all in the same direction. And the reason why we have to cut it and lay it differently on either side is so it doesn't look upside down. I need to sharpen my pruners because they are getting so dull. There we go. And it's easier to do this when you just lay it out. And I'll show you guys what I mean. And this one is 15 feet long, so it should be enough to go all the way around the door. And if not, we'll fluff it with some other evergreens. So I'm just going to roughly find the center. I'm just going to cut it down the center. And then what I'm going to do is to make sure that the ends where I cut them, they don't become loose and undone. I have some floral wire. This is 22 gauge. So just like simple floral wire. You can buy, or you can use yarn, really anything. And I'm just going to wrap it around the end where I made that cut. That way they don't become undone. I'm just gonna go around it a few times and then cut that as well. And now using that same wire, I'm going to cut a piece, little piece. I'm going to tie it at the end of our wreath and then secure it on each of the nails. If you have to, you can take little pieces and make sure that it's kind of hanging like the rest of these. That way it looks a little bit more uniform all the way around. So like this little piece, I'm just gonna tuck in back in here. Might cut these off and just tuck it so they're draping down everywhere, just like that. So now do you see how they're both going the same direction down? Had I not done this, this side would have been going down, it would have gone across, and then this would have been upside down. So this just makes it a little bit neater and a little bit more uniform. So again, now I'm just gonna edit this a little bit. Just cut pieces here and there and tuck it in other areas. That way it's not too clustered and full on one side and empty on the other. Now what I also like to do is take other types of evergreen. So in this case, we have it from that bonus tree that we got. You can also do this with magnolia. You can put eucalyptus in this if you really want to get like a full grand garland, which I kind of want to do, but we're also running out of daylight. So what you'll do is make these little clusters of evergreens or, you know, other greenery or whatever you want. You can even do this with berries like this. Let me show you. You can totally tuck in some real berries or faux berries like this, or even pine cones. And let's see, and you can just tuck it in here. I might actually do that like this. And now you're going to come in here into your garland and you are going to add this into different areas of your garland. So do you see how immediately that adds volume to the garland? And we have a little piece of that wire left, so we can just take it, kind of tuck it in wherever you want to, and then wrap it around a couple of times that main garland. Hold on, this might not be long enough. Let's see. You want to make sure that this is very tight, because as these start to dry, they'll start to shrink. So we're just going to go around once. And twice, just like that. So now do you see how pretty that looks? We'll turn on the light so you can see it better. And so you see how that looks? It looks so much prettier. So I think what I'll do is make a few of these and add them around. And I think I want to add a couple of pine cones to the very top of this, or maybe even in the corners. So let me do that real quick. With the pine cones, we can go one of two ways. We can do two big ones at the top like this. We can do one of these big ones like this. Well, that wouldn't look cute. It'd have to be two, but it's too tight over here. So maybe like two at the top, or even smaller ones could just be tucked in throughout the garland. And can I just say, I love these big chunky pine cones. I think these are sugar pine, I'm not sure, but I bought these probably, they smell really nice, probably 3 years ago at a farm, and I can't find, it's hard for me to find them locally here. So if you have a good source of where to buy these big ones, let me know, because I really do enjoy decorating with these. And real quick, if you're going to use pine cones, you would just take that same floral wire, and then I just wrap it at the base, like once or twice, like this. And then you leave a nice long tail, about yay long. And then you would do the same thing as you do with the little clusters of evergreens. Just take it and wrap it around your garland. All right, guys, we are losing daylight, so we are going to continue working as quickly as we can to get this done, and we'll show you guys everything at the end. But before it gets too dark, I just wanted to give you a little background on what I did and where I got some of the things that we used today. So to start off with, the little ribbons that we've been using on the trees, I got these on Amazon, and I think they were, what, $6, Sergey? Yeah, about $6 a pack, and there's about 24 of these in each pack, which, what a steal. I will make sure to link that down below in the description box. I was going to do these little ribbons by hand, but nobody has time for that, and these are velvet, so I think they're absolutely perfect. They come in a little flat, so you do want to fluff them up a little bit. And then on the back, it comes with these little ties. Like, these are the same little ties that you see on bread sacks. So you just wrap that around each of the branch where you want these. So these are amazing, and I am such a ribbon girl, such a bow girl. I always have been, and I always will be. I love bows, especially this time of year. So that's where I got these. And the ornaments that we used on each of the tree are these glass red balls, and I got these from Michael's. And I do think the glass ones make a huge difference in terms of light reflection. And I think because this area is protected, it's not out in the elements in the garden, they're going to be just fine over here. But you know what? I actually used these last year on our maple tree, and they were fine. I just made sure to tie them really securely so they didn't blow off in the wind. And same thing with these. I just made sure that they were very secure. But I do think it makes a big difference when you use glass ornaments versus like the plastic ones. I do have some plastic ones for our other trees, but for this, I really wanted something that would reflect the lights really well. So I recommend those. And you know, Michael's, they always have really good sales, especially right now. So it's a good time to stock up if you're wanting to do this next year, or if you still need to do your decoration. So just a little note on that. And regarding our wreath, I will also hang up a wreath that we got a couple of years ago. And that one came from a garden center. You'll see that in a minute. And I think that's it. I'm really excited and thrilled about how this turned out. I am going to add little bows to our little trees as well. And I probably won't add lights to those. Those are more of a accent little trees that we did. But again, same thing, put them in the soil, watered it in, so they will stay nice and hydrated throughout the whole winter. One quick little note on the little trees, we just put moss around the base of them and a landscape light that is solar charged to shine up on them. Again, we're just gonna leave them plain. Maybe we'll add, let's see, like a couple of little ornaments, like at the base like this. That'd be kind of cute. And just leave it like that. And we also added moss to the big planters just to conceal the soil and the bricks. And one quick other little note on the garland, we went ahead and made sure it went all the way down to the floor. To me, this makes such a big difference because when it's only halfway up, it tends to shorten the door. That's just my opinion though. I like it to go all the way around and all the way back down to the ground. So just a little note. And I think that's it. I'm super happy at how this is turning out. Again, we will do a little shot at the end once we get everything cleaned up and decorated. But I had so much fun. I finally feel like I can come home and it's like super Christmassy out here. So that makes my little heart really, really excited. Anyways, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today and decorating our front porch. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Look who just came to our front door. I told you guys when we decorated, Santa would come, and here he is.
Oh, oh, oh. Merry Christmas.
Isn't that the best?